Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Why Your B2B Marketing Strategy Feels Off. As the name suggests, we're going to look at a B2B company's digital marketing strategy and examine what it's doing well and how it can maybe use a little help. All right, let's dive right in. So this is an SMB-sized cybersecurity company. We have blocked out their name and logo to protect their privacy. We're looking at their website here. They have a number of digital channels that integrate, which we'll look into. We've done an external SEO audit through some technologies we have on license here at IMA. And otherwise, we looked at it really from the customer perspective because that's what matters. All right, so this is sort of a top-down overview of their digital marketing strategy. You'll see at the top, we have represented Google and 3 social media channels. They are all grayed out to indicate that there's a very low amount of activity coming in from all of those channels and that there's no paid activity whatsoever. So on the Google side of things, there's some SEO happening, a marginal amount of traffic trickling into their corporate website, not a whole lot. They have the 3 social media channels that you see there, not a lot of followers on any of the channels, and not a whole lot of activity, and again, no paid activity. So whatever traffic they're getting to their website from social is marginal as well. Once you're inside the website, there are ways to engage with the brand and with responders on the other side in a few different ways. One, you can schedule a consultation, which drives you to a Calendly account where you can schedule something, or you can fill out a form to speak with a salesperson. There's also, interestingly, you can subscribe to a Substack, which presumably you can get some high value content that way, but that's about it interactively. If you do any of those things, presumably you fall into a database of some sort, which you're either getting direct outreach from a salesperson or that consultation, or you're going into presumably a CRM where you're getting follow-up information. I followed this company on LinkedIn several weeks ago. I haven't seen anything, so their outbound communications appear very, very low. So what would I do immediately to start adding to this? Well, first and foremost, paid search. There have to be, in the cybersecurity space, customers and prospects out there asking questions, looking for answers. If they could harness particular keyword phrases, questions that are being asked, and drive it into specific pages on their site where those questions are answered, they can make real connections with prospective customers. That's the first thing I would do. And I would support that with some paid LinkedIn activity. Same thing, push out high value content that answers questions, anticipate the needs of your customers and prospects, and then answer those questions in advance. That will get people to pay attention and to go to your website to learn more. Next thing I would do after that is add some sort of simple way to stay in the know on their website. Invite them to subscribe to an email or an e-newsletter, or to join some sort of VIP list. That way you have permission to speak with them, even though they're not ready to raise their hand and have a salesperson bug them. And the other thing I would do, and this is something we're seeing a lot of high-tech Fortune 100 companies do, is add a Threads account. We're seeing an increasing amount of leading companies adding Threads and experimenting with Threads in addition to X. And what we're seeing an increasing number of the types of things you would use X for: press releases, award announcements, posting that to X, but also posting it to Threads. And we're seeing the volume on Threads go up and the volume on X go down. So you can see this sort of subtle shift where they're starting to replace the once very popular Twitter with this newer channel. So I would add that. It would cost them nothing. They would just duplicate their X content onto Threads and kind of see if they can grab an audience there. So that's another thing I would do. Beyond that, first, I would supercharge some landing pages within the site. Again, if they're leveraging paid search to grab audiences that are asking specific questions, once they get to the website, you want to give them highly relevant and timely answers. So again, it would start with keyword research. It would start with customer demand, customer need. What do they need to know about most, and what matches up on your side as a company you can answer the best? Find those, isolate those 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 biggest opportunities and create custom content to address those 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 opportunities and start driving them in and making these very powerful one-on-one connections. So once you supercharge those landing pages and you activate your paid search activity and your social activity, you're going to start to see, boom, a lot more MQLs come into your database that you can now have permission to speak to on a regular basis, even if they're not in market right now. Some will be, some won't. But now you have that permission and you have that ability to go to the next level. Now, if you've ever opted into a website, you probably got the same banal response, which is, thanks for your request, someone will be in touch shortly, blah, 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 and nothing else. Let's look at how to take that another level. So on the other side of people opting in, the first thing I would do is move that Substack subscription invitation right there. So you've opted in, now you're seeing a page that says, hey, did you know we have the Substack, you can get high value content there, subscribe. I would also invite people to, whatever it was they just searched about and were enlightened about, that you answered some sort of question for them that they needed to know. Invite them to share that information via email with their colleagues. Put it right there on the post landing page where they can share the information, and also give them the invitation to share it right now through social media channels, whatever one they choose the most. By doing that, you're going to start to see all of this ancillary traffic that they don't have to pay for, come back to the website. Again, it's all relevant and it's free. And instead of it coming from a brand message, it's coming from someone they actually know. So when a friend recommends you to go check out this website, you're a lot more likely to go there than if a brand is trying to push you there. By doing this, and by adding a retargeting component, you can start to bring traffic to the website from both sides. So retargeting, for those that don't know, is anyone who's visited your website through various technologies, you can reach out to them with messages on social platforms, through the Google Display Network, etc., and try to drive them back. If a person has visited your website and you can bring them back via retargeting, there's a 70% likelihood they take action. So, even if that action is a sale, great. Even if that action is an opt-in, that's an MQL that your sales team can work. So what would you rather go to market with? This or that? That's it. I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like us to analyze your B2B digital marketing strategy, leave a comment below, or you could shoot us an email, which is in the program description. Thanks for watching.